DIY or Die, Walker Vapor Group LLC, or any of its associates do not condone nor encourage the use of nicotine, vapor products, or any mood-altering substances without the explicit consent of a physician. The content viewable on this channel is strictly for entertainment purposes only and not meant to be seen as informational or educational. Must be 21 years or older to view these materials.
Silky Beat. Hey, what is up, mixers? Welcome back to another glorious episode of the MIXINVIXENS. My name is Emily, also known as mlNikon, and let's say hello to our other Vixens. First up, we've got the lovely Lumi. How are you doing today, Lumi?
It just rolls off your tongue, doesn't it? The lovely Lumi.
The lovely Lumi. It does. It's got a je ne sais quoi. You know, it just rolls off the tongue. How you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for asking. And then we have the also lovely RinVapes. How are you doing, Rin?
All right.
All right. Okay. How was your weekend?
I didn't bowl shitty, so that's good.
Hey, all right. Not shitty is a good bar to have.
That's my only goal. That's all I can do.
That's a good goal. Yeah, awesome. I didn't do anything this weekend. Didn't go hiking. It was just cold and rainy and gross, so I stayed inside and I did weekend things. I did go grocery shopping, so I left the house. But then that's it. I stayed in, I did laundry and played video games and watch YouTube. Huh. What about you, Lemmy? What'd you do this weekend? Wow, that's enthralling.
Yeah, real enthralling. Yeah. I totally get out of my house all the time. Like,
yeah. All right. So James picked the picture this week. And for those of you who don't know, James is Friction, aka the most awesome tech producer in the land. And he picked the picture that you can see in the corner there, hopefully. Yeah, you can see it. It's, I don't know, so it can be a donut ice cream sandwich or a bagel with cream cheese.
Cottage cheese.
Or sure, cottage cheese. I know, I'm going to be really interested to see what everyone thought that what they did with it. Me personally, I made a honey glazed donut with cream cheese. And it turned out pretty freaking awesome. What about you, Lemmy? What did you do with this picture?
I did lumbus bread with a dash of cottage cheese.
Cottage cheese. Okay. Okay. Cool. What about you, Rin? What did you do with this picture?
I wanted to do, because when I look at it, I get a donut ice cream sandwich. So I wanted to do that, and I kind of still did it, but I added a flavor to it, so it wasn't just plain.
Okay. Cool. So everyone did something different. That's awesome. That's fun. Yeah. I just saw it as a big old hunk of cream cheese, but ice cream sounds better. I kind of like that. So, how about you go first? Oh, by the way, guys, before you go, I didn't mean to interrupt, but before, I just want to let you know that Jennifer will be here. I'm
here.
Oh, she's here. Hi. The fourth Vixen. How you doing, Jennifer?
Good, good. I saw the same thing you did. I've been here for a few minutes. I guess you can't see me. You must not have it on your side.
I wasn't paying attention.
I saw the boobies.
You saw the boobies?
Yes.
Yeah, you're all.
I went the same route you did. I did.
Yeah,
I saw a glazed donut with cream cheese in the middle.
Yeah, and you'd said last weekend honey buns or something. And so it got me thinking. I'm like, oh, yeah, all right. I'm going to do a honey glazed donut.
Yeah,
Awesome. Did you have a good weekend?
I did. I had a good weekend. My husband left town. I've had the house to myself with
Sweet.
and all that happens when I'm here by myself is that I make a disaster mess painting.
Awesome.
So
Fun.
I've been on the paint kick. I got a canvas, and after I finished painting it or throwing the paint together, now I have a mental picture of what I'm gonna do with it. I can't. I don't know that we could say that on YouTube, so I won't. I'm gonna do a hemp flower in the center of it. That's what I can say on YouTube.
Cool. All right. So Rin, as you were saying, we're gonna make you go first.
Already. So I'll start with what I struggled with. I wanted to do just a pure ice cream donut thingy. Problem I had is donuts are very sweet, at least to me, and I'm not a big sweet vapor. I don't add sweetener. I don't generally like very sweet like mixes. So I struggled with having both of those elements there because ice cream is also pretty sweet without it just being just this sweet mess where you couldn't really taste that it was a donut or anything. So I'm like, okay, what can I do? What flavor can I add that won't be overpowering? It'll still look like the picture because, you know, you can't really do chocolate necessarily because there's not chocolate there. I mean, you could, but it'd be kind of cheating in my opinion. But so I went with lemon, which is ironic because I've been having my issues with lemon.
Yeah.
But it also gave me an opportunity to finally use a flavor that I just recently got that's been hyped up quite a lot. So yeah, to keep the donut somewhat like it's still sweet, but it's not like sickeningly sweet. I mixed equal parts of glazed donut by Wonder Flavors, 0.5%, and then angel cake by Wonder Flavors at 0.5% to make it more of like a fluffy type donut. I added lemon meringue tart by Vape Train at 1% to give it a nice lemon note to it that wasn't too bright. It wasn't too astringent. It was more of like a bakery lemon that could kind of hang out with the creams and stuff. I also used another new item, the SSA ice cream vanilla at 0.5% to boost up the cream note because the middle's pretty, I mean, she thick. And I used marshmallow vanilla by Flavora to also add that nice fluffy center with a nice vanilla.
Yeah.
And it also has like a little, to me, marshmallow vanilla has a little bit of a powdered note, which I thought would go nicely in here. And that was at 1%.
Good call.
Yeah.
Good call. Because yeah, it does. It's kind of got the like the outside coating kind of a marshmallow where it's like that powdery. But I think it'd be great in a donut like this. And I love that you used SSA ice cream vanilla. That is now my favorite ice cream flavor.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't single flavored it, but because I initially did everything without it and it wasn't creamy enough. So I did a 0.5% in there just to add some more cream in it. But yeah, I mean, I think it's good. I did order the regular ice cream because somebody said if you mix them together, it's supposed to be really good because SSA has another ice cream.
I have not tried their other ice cream. I will have to give it a go. Another flavor to order.
Yeah.
I was looking at those SSA ice creams and they smell phenomenal, but I noticed a lot of the notes said that, well, there's not a lot of notes on it, but the 2 notes I saw on there were saying that there's some kind of an off note. Did you get that off of it, or do you actually
Did it
like
say what the off note was? Or
No.
just... I mean, I used it pretty low and I used it with a bunch of other stuff. I haven't single flavored it. In the mix itself, it has a little bit of that buttery note I was talking about with most ice creams. But other than that, no.
Yeah, I haven't noticed any off note with at least the vanilla one that I have either. So I'm not sure. I'd be interested to hear more about like what off note they're getting.
It could be butyric. That's what people tend to
Yeah, because Yeah, to me, I get dappy goodness, but I guess I can see maybe someone like Dave, who's a little more sensitive to that, could get maybe that butier kind of peakiness. Um, but I really enjoy it. Yeah.
I mean, I'm fairly sensitive, not as much as Dave, but I don't get any of that from here, thankfully. I wouldn't like it if I got that.
Yeah, that's it. And that's what the thing is a lot of SSA I've noticed, like if it's because normally if you have like thick, rich, kind of dappy type flavors, they need a steep for that to come through. But I've noticed with SSA, that stuff it'll come through and be rich and decadent like from the shake. Have you noticed that?
Can you repeat the last half of that? I was responding to
Oh,
a comment.
that I've noticed that with a lot of with SSA flavors, that they'll be rich and decadent like right away. Like they don't require a steep like a lot some of the other flavors that have that dappy kind of richness to them.
I the only thing I could say for certain that I have that experience with is the cheesecake. I actually liked it better fresh opposed to steep, which is uncommon. But I haven't tried a lot of their creams yet. I've done most of their fruits and stuff like that because that's what I like to vape.
Okay, cool. All right, well, thank you for sharing. This looks absolutely delightful. Who would like to go next?
I'll go with my cottage cheese.
Yeah, get your cottage cheese out of here.
I'm just kidding. I didn't use cottage cheese, which I kind of had the same struggle that Rin had when it comes to like a cream and a donut, because I did ice cream on like, and I thought the donut kind of looked like one of those warm Krispy Kreme donuts. And I do notice that it does kind of like morph into one whenever you add ice cream in a donut. It just could be me, but for me it tastes like a creamy pastry. Like, I don't know, my taste buds have been a little bit messed up, so I tried to ask Mr. Loomy, but Mr. Loomy's Mr. Loomy. He's no help at all, even though he steals all my bottles. But for my donut, to try to get that Krispy Kreme kind of donut, I use glazed donut super concentrate wonder flavors at 1.96, egg roll health cabin at 0.22 to kind of give it more of a greasy note, classic Belgian waffle 0.78 to try to give it just that more of a filling note. And then for my ice cream, I used vanilla ice cream liquid barn 2.13 and vanilla custard cheesecake 1-on-1 at 1.33, cream by Flavor at 0.99.
Well, dang it, this looks great too.
It tastes good, but I'm having a hard time like picking out the two things. Like they're there, but they're not separate.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's hard to separate layers in a vape, I've found. You know, sometimes it just all gets in a mushy one flavor. But if that flavor is delicious, who the heck cares?
Yeah, I like it. I like it. So
you're here for it. Yeah, I really like this too. You know, egg roll, I haven't seen that used in a hot minute. I freaking love that flavor too. I bet it gives the donut kind of more that a crispiness to it.
That fried note, because
And,
Krispy Kreme donuts are like super greasy fried.
Yeah. And I bet it helps with kind of like that like a powdered sugar type vibe going. That with that glazed donut from Wonder Flavors, this looks really good also. Dang it, I'm gonna have to mix this up as well. Yeah, this looks really good. And of course you got the classic Belgian waffle in there to really help with the body of the glazed donut.
And the vanilla custard cheesecake kind of helps with the glaze on the donut.
Oh yeah, I bet. Yeah, no, dang it, this looks good too. Man, you guys all did better than me. I mean, I really enjoy my mix, but these look good. These are all good ideas too.
Watch Emily win it at the end of the week whenever we get the judgment show, and then
Very cool.
Do you want me to go next?
Yeah, sure. If we're done talking about Lumi's awesome mix, you can go next.
Are we done?
We're just speeding through the.
You done?
But that's okay. We've got lots of people that played along, so.
Yeah, we did. I saw that in chat. I was like, whoa, we're going to be here all night.
well, you may want to move your camera just a little bit, but yeah.
Hold on. Let me move.
Yeah. Get away from the door a bit.
There. That better?
I suppose.
Yeah, I think so.
I had a little bit of a challenge with putting my recipe up because I had written it down on a piece of paper and I had entered it into ELR today before the show. And then when I was sitting here getting ready to talk about my recipe, I looked down and I had entered and I saw that the cake that I had actually put on the recipe itself that I had written down is not the cake I used. So I used white cake is one of the cakes I used. And originally, when I first had it in there, I had a spongy yellow cake or sponge, whatever, the other Flavor West cake that was in there. So I'm sitting here trying to change it in the recipe, trying to make sure that Friction gets it. I'm over here in my damn thing. And he's like, it's private because now I've created 3 recipes on our account instead of editing the original one. My fat fingers were not getting it right. So when I jumped in, I said, you want to do mine? It's because I finally got it in there right. Mid-show, Jennifer's still doing edits. Anyhow, let's talk about I called mine Donuts and Cream because I am not creative with names. I suck at that. So Donuts and Cream. And what I did for my donut was I used white cake from Flavor West at 2.5%. And I mixed that with vanilla cupcake from Capella.
Okay.
Then I used cheesecake graham crust to give it more body, more of bakery note because, I don't taste those notes, but I've always, in all the notes and stuff, it says that they're not very full of cake. So I wanted more cake in there. And I wanted to start blending in the cheesecake frosting that I'm going to put in the middle. So then I used Flavor West cheesecake again, and I know I used that just a couple weeks ago, but the flavor I have out, it's on my desk, and it's a good flavor. I used that at 1.5% to start making my cream cheese center, kind of. And I use milk from Flavora at 0.75% to make it creamier, but without adding any more sugar, because with the white cake and the vanilla cupcake, it's sweet enough. And then I put capped glazed donut at 0.5. I didn't want a lot of donut in there because of the Play-Doh note in it, but I wanted just enough to give it that fluffy donut taste. And that's pretty glazed too, so it's pretty sweet. So I was afraid it was going to be super sweetened kind of cake, and it is, but it's still delicious. So the Flavora milk plays really well with that cheesecake and with all the vanilla notes without adding any additional vanilla from a whipped cream or anything like that. And then I use SSA ripe coconut just because I wanted to play with that coconut and I wanted to add some extra milk notes. It is fantastic coconut, but it's not like an in-your-face coconut, but it's a sweet coconut. I don't know how to describe it. Well, in my notes, I wrote I was going for a cake donut with cream cheese center, but ended up with a donut with vanilla cream cheese icing filled donut. This might not be what I was going for, but it's delicious. Needs about a week steep if you're sensitive to the Play-Doh from the glazed donut. So it wasn't what I went for, but I wasn't changing it because it's delicious. So it came out like a cream cheese icing, a vanilla cream cheese icing is what it tastes like inside a donut.
Nice.
instead of cake
So yeah,
donut.
sometimes it may not be like as authentic as you want or exactly like what you had in your head, but it's still freaking tasty. So you're like, why
Yeah,
change it if
I'm
love
not
it?
changing this. It is not what I was going for. It is a too vanilla-y from what I was going for. It is a little bit cakey and you could taste the cream cheese, but it's like a cream cheese icing, a cream cheese stuffing in the middle. You know, it just came out really, I love it. I mixed it up last week in hopes that it'd have enough steep, and today I'm vaping and I don't know how to set it down. It's really good. It's really sweet though, so I'm sure I'll get tired of it after a little while because it is very sweet and I didn't even add any sweetener to it. But it's sweet for me. Other people might not find it that sweet.
I'm glad I ordered the SSA ripe coconut.
It's good.
Cool.
Have you ever had desiccated coconut? Did you ever figure out if you had it or not?
I have it. Yeah, and I've tried it. I like it. It's a
How does
different
it
coconut.
compare to the ripe coconut?
It's completely different. Desiccated is more coconut shavings. This is more like almost a coconut ice cream.
This looks good too.
Shiver me
Except for maybe
timbers.
the coconut, but everything else looks great.
Except for the coconut. It's only 0.5 in there, so I mean,
Yeah, it's just probably adding some of that richness, right? Like that.
It's actually just adding to that vanilla note that I wasn't looking
Yeah.
for that I ended up getting.
Yeah, I'm surprised to see you use Capella glazed donut. You don't get Play-Doh from that?
If I do sometimes, I do, but with that low and with steep, it goes away for me.
Okay.
I mean, I do, but I like that I don't get Play-Doh. I get what people think tastes like Play-Doh to them, so I understand what that is. I understand the note, but I don't taste Play-Doh out of it.
Okay.
Yeah, she's actually eaten Play-Doh. So y'all motherfuckers don't know what you're talking about.
It doesn't taste like Play-Doh.
All right.
Play-Doh is saltier.
All right.
People
Not that we've ever eaten chemically.
Get that salt note. Very cool. Yeah, this looks good too. Man, you guys are all killed it this week.
TheJuiceFairy back there just with her stick of glue licking it up.
Paint is the worst though. Sucking up paint it tastes worse than all of that stuff.
I thought I had a problem with putting things in my mouth.
Don't eat paint.
I know. I'm just kidding. It's just, you know, when you're painting and you get and I bite my nails, right? So then I'm like, that tastes like shit. And then I keep biting my nails.
Like nail polish remover, that stuff is awful. Like you forget you used it and then you like do something like, oh god.
Yeah, it's just gross. I'm trying not to bite my nails, but it's not working.
Yeah. You need, I don't know.
Holy crap. How many people do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
7 people play along, but I need to talk about mine first.
Oh shoot. Yes.
I haven't gone yet.
Oh, we saved the best for last.
Yeah,
Emily's about to just crush us all. She's like, oh,
I know. So that's why I had to finish mine quickly before Emily, because she's probably used some authentic donut over there that doesn't have the Play-Doh in it.
Maybe we'll see. Okay, so I just called mine honey drenched donut, or honey glazed donut, I think is what I called it. And what I did for the donut is I use a combo of Chemnovatic donut at 2% and Wonder Flavor glazed donut at 2%, because I find that Wonder Flavor's glazed donut is more like of the glaze. It does have some yeasty body, some doughy body, if you will, but not a lot. And I wanted to bump it up with another donut, because this is a donut here. And so I use Chemnovatic donut. If you guys haven't
what do you think about that Chemnovatic donut?
I really
give me the rundown.
Enjoy it. It's in fact, let me look at my notes for it. I really like it. It's got just enough yeast. It's not like off-putting, like too much yeast. It's just a little yeasty. It's buttery. It's bready, like it's just a good donut. And then I wanted to add even more yeastiness and butteriness, so I did just a little bit of Wonder Flavors croissant as well, because I was trying to make like a cronut, right? So I did 0.75% Wonder Flavors croissant. And then for the cream cheese part, see, I did about 4 versions of this with different donut layers and different cream cheese parts. And it was between either Flavor West cheesecake or Lorange cheesecake. And Lorange cheesecake was just a little too sour for me. It was a little too, I guess, authentic, if you will, because cream cheese does have a sour cheesiness, but it was just a little too much for me. So I went with Flavor West cheesecake at 3%. And
Wow,
then
3%.
3%, yes. Because it's the only cream or the only, cheese note.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
I like leaned into it, right? And then a trick that I learned from Dave back in the day, he did honey buns, and this was before there were any decent honey flavors. And he actually used FA butterscotch as like the commercial honey note, and it worked so well. I have since then used FA butterscotch in like 90% of the applications I want honey for. So I did
Really?
2.5% FA butterscotch.
2.5% butterscotch.
Yeah.
Oh, this looks very yummy.
You go high, you go heavy. And it does. It gives you that like commercial juice honey like flavor. It's not like it's obviously it's not floral like honey is, but it's dark and it's sweet and it gives you that honey. It scratches that honey itch that you
See,
have.
for me, the Flavor West butterscotch, Flavor Art butterscotch gives me, and that's Flavor Art is the one you use.
Yeah.
Gives me like an not burnt caramel, like an unburnt, like a caramel that never got hot enough to get burnt. So it's a creamy caramel. That's what I get out of it.
Yeah.
So I can see where that would go on bakeries, and since it's not burnt, it doesn't have that burnt note that most caramels have.
Yeah.
It would give you that glazy honey note.
Yeah, it really adds to that kind of honey glaze. Yeah, it's really good. I really enjoy it. I had tried in my versions 1-on-1 glazed donut, and it was good too. It just didn't have like the richness and the yeastiness as good as the Chemnomatic donut. So that's why I went with that one. But I really like it. It's really good. You definitely get all the layers. You get the cronut and you get the cream cheese. If I wanted to verify this, maybe I would have added a little bit of the LA cheesecake for some more tartness, but I don't think it's needed here. Like, I think that wasn't the part I was focusing on, right? I really wanted to focus on the honey glazed donut.
See, that's so interesting because we both did a glazed donut with cream cheese and both focused on different parts. Like I focused, it's so cheese heavy in the picture that I was like, okay, I need to get that right.
Well,
but then in focusing on that, all the other donuts were getting washed out. That's why I used the Capella one. Because I was so focused on the cream that nothing was pushing through that cream other than actually adding the one flavor that gives other people problems. But I didn't want to go with FA what's their donut one?
FA glazed donut glass.
No. The other one I looked at was putting in the Zippola, but then that was adding those spices I didn't want in there. It was clashing with the cream cheese.
Yeah, I thought about adding a little bit of cinnamon, like to make it like a more of a honey buns type thing. But I'm like, no, this is just a honey glazed like cronut, like I don't want any cinnamon in this. Although cinnamon would be pretty darn tasty in this. I just didn't want it.
Yeah, I get it. Looks very good. It looks. I focused on looking at this one because it's like the exact thing I was going for in a different direction.
All right, who's buying me these honey buns? Because kind of want them now.
I know, honey buns are so freaking
My
good.
recipe is not as good as your guys. Look at me with my fucking honey bun.
Well, I mean, a honey bun is still good. It just seemed so.
I know, that's why I'm saying I want one. Like Emily just showed us all up. It looks phenomenal. I want this, and I want a honey bun. Like a fresh hot honey bun with ice
I'm
cream.
gonna go get it at the store after the show, and I'll mail it to you.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Awesome. All right. So as we said previously, we have a lot of people play along. We have 7 people play along. Let me pull up. James was so nice to
Get Sam's.
you. All right, you can do Sam's first since we'll just go down the list. So Sam's first, so you can run by Sam's.
All right. We gotta do this. Look at that. He even learned his lesson. He finally used some odd numbers for me.
Oh gosh, really?
All right. He used bread sweet super concentrate wonder flavors at 2.44%. I love it. Deep fried pastry dough at 0.73%. Yeah. French vanilla ice cream, Hankson. Ooh, I thought about using that. At 0.77. Glazed donut super concentrate wonder flavors. Our minds are in the same place. Just love that glazed donut. 2.53. Powdered sugar 1-on-1. 1.99. Pretzel dough. What the fuck is up with you in this pretzel dough? Did you pull it out for last week's recipe and you can't put it away? At 0.71. Vanilla ice cream, Liquid Barn, 4.02. Yes, I'm here for all of this, except for the pretzels.
I'm so disappointed in Sam.
I can actually make this, and I'm intrigued now. Vanilla ice cream deep fried inside a puffy dough ball of bready deliciousness, dusted in powdered sugar, deep fried, by the way, as all donuts should be, you heathens. Got some awesome ideas from a recent donut recipe. Shout out to those mixers whose names I will search for and then credit. The pretzel dough works, so, well, here is a yeasty dark note. The sweetbread is amazing. Give this about a week. It's rich and delicious. Are Sam's notes.
I can hardly believe that he steeped something. And he used odd percentages. So he's trying to appeal to all of us.
Awesome. Very cool, Sam. Minus the fact that you use weird numbers. That's just disappointing. You succumb to Lumi's peer pressure.
Peer pressure.
Well, I like a lot of Sam's recipes, so seeing the Lumi percents in there just is icing on the cake.
Bada bing. No pun intended. Icing on the cake. So who wants to do Ginny Sins? I'll do her.
All right.
Let me pull it up here. She's next. And let me see if she's got any notes here. She didn't write us any notes. She kept it pretty simple. She said Frosted Donut DX from TFA at 4%. Powdered sugar, 1.25%. And I guess she did a donut ice cream. A vanilla ice cream from Liquid Barn at 3.5%. This is pretty straightforward. It's a donut. It's a TFA donut DX and vanilla ice cream. It's got to be pretty creamy. And the powdered sugar, I wonder if that just sweetens it up. What would you think, Emily? Do you think that powdered sugar is just going to sweeten it up some more?
Yeah, 101 powdered sugar like sweetens it up without giving it that cloying kind of sugar lips feel. Although to me, like TFA frosted donut is a lot of sweet like already. So I bet this is pretty darn sweet. I used
And
to
liquid
use
barn
TFA
at 3.5 is going to be cream it up. So
Yeah. Yeah.
she
This
said
is.
Vixen donut ice cream. So
I used to use TFA frosted donut a lot. And I really enjoy it, like as far as like a little bit of a spicy donut more than Zapola, because you do get a little bit of like there's a little bit of a cinnamon note to it.
Yeah.
That comes with that sweetness, but it's actually a decent donut. So
Yeah.
very cool. I like how simple it is. So it makes all the flavors are going to be like clear and concise.
this is an Emily mix.
It sure is. Nice, Jeannie. I hope you like it. Thank you for sharing. Okay. I'll do Amber K. She's Amber K on ELR. And she did Ice Creamy Donut at 2% SSA Ice Cream Vanilla, 0.5% Capella Super Sweet, 1% Vape Train Sweet Cream, and then 3% FA Zapola. So another simple, spicy donut ice cream sandwich. Not spicy, but you know what I mean, like spiced. Which will probably gives it that more of that honey bun feel. Yeah, I'm here for it. I like it.
And the Zapola probably gave it that nice airy feel to it as well.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
Zapola I love just because it gives you that old-fashioned donut from Dunkin' Donuts, and I love going to Dunkin' Donuts, and I always I get a Boston cream, of course, along with the apple cinnamon spice, but there's always an old-fashioned in there. Never go wrong.
Yeah, I like Zapola too. I just didn't go that right this time. And it does give it that airy kind of feel. This looks pretty good. Looks pretty good and creamy and sweet. This looks pretty sweet. I must say
it does,
so.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a dessert. We all went really dessert on them.
Of course. All right. Rin, you want to read Josh Hatfield's?
Which one is he? Like his actual name? Do you know?
His ELR name is Drip Drop Vape.
Okay. So looks like he did Wonder Flavors Angel Cake as well at 1.5%. Bergamot from Flavor Art 0.5, 0.5%. Marshmallow by Flavora at 0.55%. Sweetness by Flavora 0.5. Vanilla Bean Ice Cream TFA 3%. Vanilla Cupcake Flavor West 1.5. Vanilla Pudding Flavora 1.5. Baked fluffy donuts with a touch of orange zest in a glaze with a rich creamy ice cream slab in the middle. Sandwich style.
Nice. I love that he used a little bit of FA bergamot in here. Make it a little bit different. Give it that orangey kind of note to it.
I bet this is delicious.
It looks.
That bergamot makes me want to mix this.
I know,
just because
right?
I would have never used that. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I wonder what that came out like.
Yeah, I never would have thought to use it either. This looks really good. And using Flavor West vanilla cupcake, I can't say that I have much experience with that. But that with the angel cake with Wonder Flavors, I bet is a really nice touch to give it a very kind of fluffy, doughy body.
You've never used Flavor West vanilla cupcake?
I can't say that I have. No, in fact, I don't even know if I have notes for Flavor West vanilla cupcake. I'm gonna have to look. That might That might be an actual flavor that I do not. Yeah, it's a flavor I don't have.
Really, it's like back in the day, it was like the cupcake that was mostly used with strawberries and if you weren't using yellow cake, you didn't want that much butter. Flavor West cupcake what is the next one. It's really good compared to yellow cake. It's not used very much. I think it's because it's buttery, but it's missing the sweetness level that TFA and Capella have.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty good though. It's pretty good. I haven't used it in ages either.
Nice.
So this looks very interesting. It looks a little bit old school and it looks really good.
It does, yeah. With that TFA vanilla bean ice cream mixed with the vanilla pudding. I bet that's freaking fire. And then you've got the Flavora marshmallow to really kind of fluff it up even more. Yeah. This looks good. Good job. Good
Looks
job,
good.
Joshy boy. Thank you for sharing. All right. I will do the next one, which is Mr. Rum Pirate on ELR. I believe it's Brett. He did Cinnamon Donut from Vape Train, which is a one shot at 3.5%. Cream Cheese Icing by LA Lorenz at 1.5%. Oh, HC Egg Roll, Health Cabin Egg Roll at 0.75%. One-on-One Pie Crust at 1.25%. Vanilla Cream Extra by Wonder Flavors at 1.5%. And Vanilla Milkshake by Nicotine River at 3%. Says a soft serve vanilla ice cream between a cinnamon sugar dusted cronut. Very cool. There's so many flavors here that I cannot talk about. Because I haven't had the vanilla milkshake from Nicotine River or the cinnamon donut from Vape Train. But I like where your head is at with the
And he used that cream cheese icing from LA.
Yeah. Yeah, that's if you don't have vanilla custard cheesecake, LA cream cheese icing is like the next one to have and to use. It's really good. In fact, I thought about using that like in addition to my cheesecake, but I thought no, it's fine. It's fine the way it is. But this looks really good as well. You know, that vanilla cream extra, that's a really good vanilla. It's very deep and rich.
There's a lot of flavors in here that I can't talk about either.
Yeah, like
I think that the only one I can talk about is that cream cheese icing and the pie crust.
It's interesting that he used pie crust in here.
Pie crust from OOO has a little bit of a donut type of taste, a little bit.
Really?
It is.
I don't think I've ever picked up on that.
For me, it has more of a doughy crust than a crisp crust, if that makes any sense.
Sure. It does. And then he used the egg roll to give you that crispiness because he said it's a cronut, which, you know, that's what I saw. And that's kind of what I went for as well. Have Ren or Lemmy, have either of you tried the vanilla milkshake by Nicotine River?
No. And I haven't tried the new Vape Train donut either, but I have ordered
the cinnamon
it.
donut. Yeah, darn it. This looks interesting. This looks good. I wish I had these flavors so that I could have tried them and have some more feedback for you. But thank you for playing along, Rum Pirate.
I want that cinnamon donut now too. I'm like,
I know. I was like, I am gonna have to put that on my to buy list.
That pie crust. When I've used that pie crust, I've usually mixed it with the Flavor West one, because I mean that pie crust is a pretty decent pie crust. Just if nobody has it or if nobody uses it often, it is a good pie crust to have in your arsenal. But that's the only flavor I can talk about.
What was the other flavor I was gonna get put on my list to get from earlier in the show? Rin used it.
You have the lemon meringue tart though, right?
Yeah, I have the lemon meringue tart. Dang it, I should have written it down right then.
I mean, hold on.
I'm just gonna have to go watch the replays.
Yeah, I'll just have to go watch the replay.
I think it was an SSA. There was
regular
ice cream.
There we go.
Right.
I remembered something.
High five.
Right now. SSA ice cream.
Yeah, I heard if you mix them in equal parts together, they're supposed to be good.
Nice. Equal parts. Okay.
But equal parts and a little Flavora milk will make it great.
Ooh. Sure. Yeah.
We'll find out.
Sounds good.
my next experiment.
Darcy is next. Who wants to go over Darcy's?
I'll do it.
Okay.
So hers was ice cream filled donuts, #MV. She used cream milky undertone by 101, 0.5%, sugar cookie Capella V1, 4.5%, vanilla custard Capella, 2%, 3.25 vanilla ice cream liquid barn, 3. Yeah, I already said that. Zappola flavor art, 3%.
Very cool that you mix the Zappola with a bunch of sugar cookie to kind of give it more of that buttery, dense body to it. Because as you guys were saying, Zappola can be pretty like fluffy.
Mm-hmm.
So you add that sugar cookie and it kind of make it more dense. And then vanilla custard, vanilla ice cream, and cream 101. Like all those are all excellent creams that I bet are delicious in this. Yeah, this looks really good also, Darcy. I'm here for it. Very cool.
I'll do Joni.
All right.
I actually had hers pulled up already. I thought I had clicked on hers instead of Darcy's. I was going to jump in there at some point. But she did a vanilla. I'm going to put my glasses on for this. A minty vanilla ice cream cookie. And that sounds very delicious to me. So she did Bavarian cream from TFA at 2.2%. Cookie from FA at 0.5. Peppermint from TFA at 1.5. Shortbread cookie from SSA at 1.5. Vanilla bean ice cream from TFA at 8%. Vanilla swirl at 2%. So with that vanilla bean ice cream at 8% and that vanilla swirl, I would think that this is exactly what she called it, an ice cream. And then the peppermint at 1.5 with 10% worth of creams is probably at the right spot. TFA at 1.5 of peppermint is usually pretty strong and sweet and cold. I mean, it's a different type of peppermint than a candied peppermint, but mixed with 10% worth of cream, it's probably right on point. That shortbread cookie from SSA probably brings in the butter and a good cookie note, like the kind that you would get inside an ice cream. And the cookie from FA probably adds some more bakery note to the TFA. Ooh, she's got 12% creams because the Bavarian cream is there at 2%. So that's 12% creams. This one probably needs steep. If I had a guess, I would have to give this one at least a week, 7 to 10 days. Steep to get it right, to get the peppermint, everything to blend in well, because all those creams will make a nice thick ice cream. But to get the peppermint to blend in correctly with the creams, I would probably give it about a week steep. Let me see if she's got any notes.
Because TFA peppermint is really good, but like right away it's super potent.
Yeah,
but so it's gonna need some time to calm its ass down.
Yeah, you're right.
I bet it blends in with everything.
I bet it does too, because that's 12% worth of creams and a little bit of cookie. And the cookies are, I would guess, are bringing in a nice little buttery note. And that peppermint probably does need to calm down a bit. It take at least 3 days for it to blend into all the creams correctly, and not, otherwise it'll be too broken up, if that makes any sense. Like when you're vaping it, all of a sudden you have like a shot of peppermint and then you'll get some cream later. It just needs to blend, but it looks good. It looks like a really thick
peppermint to use for like a minty ice cream either. I used to use that peppermint all the time.
Yeah, I still have that peppermint. I still use it all the time.
Yeah,
I prefer FA and Flavora, but if that's the one that's closest to me, I'm not gonna turn my nose up to it.
You're not gonna turn your nose up at it, right?
No.
It would be interesting to see that with the shortbread cookie and the TFA Bavarian cream, because like there's a lot of like darker flavors in here, and then there you've got the bright of the peppermint.
Yeah, but think about it. It's only 1.5, so it probably blends in.
Yeah, I bet it would. I bet this would be this. I might have to mix this up just because I'm so intrigued. This looks really good as well. Although 8% vanilla bean ice cream. Holy
Yeah,
moly.
I said that too, but she might be using an MTL.
Okay, sure.
Or she really likes ice cream.
She really likes ice cream. Although
Maybe she really likes pepper and she's a pepper taster.
Okay. Change it to 6. Oh, that's good. 6 is fine. Okay, I'm gonna tell you guys something. So when I first started mixing, I for some reason got it in my head that the mixes needed to be like 20% flavor. And like one of my first mixes, I forget what it was. Some kind of it had a TFA ice cream in it, and it only had 2 or 3 flavors. So I had TFA vanilla bean ice cream at 10%. No lie. And I vaped it and I loved it. And I thought I was a genius. I thought it was the best mixer in the world.
Well, TFA vanilla ice cream is
It's
one of those
forgiving.
flavors. You can pretty much mix it by itself and let it steep, and it's good.
It's a very forgiving flavor. And we're just giving you shit. Don't take anything we say personally.
No, it's definitely not what I say, because I taste things a lot stronger than other people do. So
Yeah.
For me, that would just taste like peppered popcorn.
Oh, that's too bad.
I'm not a pepper taster, so I wouldn't taste that.
That's too bad. Yeah, because I mean TFA vanilla bean ice cream is freaking amazing flavor for me. It's just
I feel bad for people who can't
better
taste
than
it.
Liquid Barn, just because it's so just buttery.
Yeah, I like it better than Liquid Barn. The only reason I don't use it is because of the pepper tasters.
Yeah, yeah.
But
True.
for me, it's perfect.
I'm perfect.
In every way.
I think the reason why a lot of people mixed at 20% is because, like, if you remember back in the day, Flavor West and flavors like that, they would put their recommended percentages 15 to 20%. So I think people just assume like, oh, well, I must have to like mix that high.
No, and not just that. Everybody was mixing by drops and using syringes and no scales, and everybody was using the 3 ml syringes. So it was just a lot easier to just go with, let's just, it looks about right, drop it and call it, rather than trying to do that one little line. So I think it was 5-5-5-5. That was the common recipe. 5% of everything.
Yeah. No, I've done my fair share of those as well. Just 5.
5-5-3-2.
A lot of these newer flavors, super concentrated, if you will, that they only need 1-2%. They're way less forgiving than like the old school TFA and Capella flavors we used to use, where you would just throw 5% of something in a mix and it would be fine.
Yeah, you know how many times I threw 7% ice cream, 7% strawberry, and just ran out the door with it?
Yeah, and it was great. Yeah,
it was fine.
It was fine. You can't do that with like FA juicy strawberry.
No.
Like these newer flavors, you have to be a little bit more a little delicate.
You can't do that with an Aurora shisha strawberry either.
True. Yeah.
Ooh, that would be
but
all.
At TFA strawberry, right? You can take that shit.
You can take that shit to 10%.
Yeah, you've done 10% in a mix like recently, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, like so. It's just depending on what you use, and it's fine. And I think also like I've noticed as time has gone by, like people in general have just used less flavor, like it's anyway than what they used to. Equipment's gotten better, palettes have gotten better.
Oh yeah, definitely. Equipment had a lot to do with it too, because I mean, the best thing you could get back then was 30 to 40 watts, and that was a damn really good mod that cost you $100. That was, what was it? The Nugget? Was it the Nugget? What was it?
I don't know.
It had the big N on the side.
I don't know. Good times. Good times. So next week's profile picture, Jennifer chose this. I don't know who submitted it.
Boo.
I know you guys don't like that.
I'm not looking forward to that. And I really, guys, judges, if any of you happen to be watching right now, do not pick my mix to critique for this week, because I'm not, like, I don't do boozes and I have no idea how to mix with them. And it's gonna be garbage. Like,
it might not be garbage.
Right,
get your tools out, read your notes.
We got Fresh making me do, well, not really Fresh. We got Larry making me do liquor on Fresh's channel for this upcoming Tuesday, and now we have this liquor. Like, I'm gonna be so liquored out. I'm over it.
But look,
I mean, it's a beverage. It can be anything. It could be
it
Coke.
could be tea.
Yep.
Oh, okay. I know exactly what I'm doing then. It's tea in a fancy booze glass.
I mean, who says that's fancy booze glass? I have glasses like that in my shelf, and I drink water out of them.
All right. Okay, I'm doing tea. Screw you, I'm doing tea. Thanks, Jennifer.
You're welcome.
And out.
And it actually could be a what is that tea that tastes like oranges?
Bergamot?
Isn't it?
Oh, but I'm using bergamot in it.
Yeah. It's not bergamot tea. Is it bergamot tea?
I think so. I think you're thinking of bergamot. Oh, Zippy's on board. She's playing along with this one.
Is she?
You can do booze, Larry.
Cloud King Cody says, looks like an orange ginger tea to me. All right, Cody, play along with us. Yeah, I'm going iced tea. I'm totally doing it. I got excited for it now. I'm here for it.
Yeah, I'm going the tea route. We got some new teas from Swag. We got new tea from Wonder Flavors. I'm pulling out the teas.
All right. Yeah, let's have some
Spill
fun
the tea.
Tea time with the Vixens is what the episode can be called.
The reason I pulled it is because I know that if I don't pull these kind of pictures, nobody will. And somebody submitted it, so somebody wants it, you know?
You gotta do you. That's right. All right. Well, unless there's anything else you guys want to talk about, it's 4:00, guys. Let's thank our sponsors and get on out of here.
4:00 your time. It's 7:00 mine.
Yeah, 4:00 my time. If you like what we do and you want to support us in a fun, tasty way, there's a couple places you can do that. DIYFlavorChaser.com, which happens to be Zippy's site. We have our one-shot line there as well. And if you go to if you happen to be shopping at Flavor Jungle, we have a one-shot line there as well. So check us out. We would throw us some love. We would really appreciate it. Thank you very much, Flavora and Bull City. And thank you, Wayne, for putting us on your podcast network. And guys, if you're at Bull City, speaking of Bull City, and you're picking some flavors up and you want to know what to do with them, we've got recipe packs there as well.
That's right.
So you know, we're everywhere. We're just everywhere.
Yeah, we didn't argue like we did last week. I was not on it. I would have jumped in there, but you rattled it all off.
Hey,
I would say you guys are everywhere. I'm in a very, very small, specific area.
Lumi's our niche girl.
I don't have any of these fancy flavor bundles and one shots. I do have Lumi braids and Lumi stands though.
That's right. You got some pretty kick-ass Lumi stands and braids. So hit her up if you want some hardware. Hit us up if you want some flavors. We love you all. We'll see you next week for the tea. Bye.
For the food.